What's up, everybody? It is that time of year. It is NBA Draft Week 2023. The draft is in just a few days, and we're going to drop our sixth and final NBA mock draft presented by Between the Lines Sports. I'm your host, James Ivy Williams, founder and CEO of Between the Lines Sports, and we are on. My staff and I have done a great job of just evaluating talent, gathering intel, breaking down film, getting to games in person, getting to games on film, talking to scouts, talking to high school coaches, talking to AAU coaches, talking to college coaches, doing everything we can to just put together the best list for you guys possible. And just FYI, this has nothing to do with any trades that are in the midst, rumors that are being heard. This is simply who we think are the best players going to the best fit for these players. That is it. So if anything changes, that's not on us. This is simply where we've evaluated guys and where we have guys slotted. Hope you guys enjoy it, and we are going to dive right into it. So at number 1, we have the San Antonio Spurs taking, no surprise, Victor Wembanyama, 7'4", 7'5", basketball player. I don't know what to call him, center, forward, guard, whatever he is. He's a really elite basketball player. Can put the ball on the floor, can score from the perimeter, shoots it well off the catch, shoots it well off the dribble, can get into on the block, shoot over the left shoulder, shoot over the right shoulder, athletic, mobile, runs the floor like a deer. Recovery speed is crazy. Wingspan 8 feet, blocks shots, keeps the ball in play. He is a monster. And if San Antonio Spurs, you guys have a track record of doing right by bigs, I hope this track record continues, because Victor's going to be an absolute stud, and I think you guys should build around him immediately and try to win championships right away. So at number 1, San Antonio Spurs taking Victor Wembanyama. At number 2, we have the Charlotte Hornets taking Scoot Henderson. I believe wholeheartedly that Scoot is a pillar piece. He's a guy that he's foundational, somebody that you build around, because his character and his work ethic and his skill set all translate to elite basketball player, elite person as well. And I think Scoot's ability to create shots for himself, create shots for his teammates, his much improved 3-point shooting, his defensive instincts and his defensive versatility. On top of that, just his defensive improvements, things that he can do to improve moving forward, I think are going to be super important for him at the next level. And I think those things all bode well for him at number 2. He also, I believe, can play on the ball and off the ball. And I think that's why he could be paired with LaMelo Ball with no issue whatsoever. They're both playmaking guards. LaMelo can shoot it can catch. And I think they both can add a layer to the other's game, which makes them a tandem that is somebody that can be reckoning with at the next level. So at number 2, we've got these Charlotte Hornets taking Scoot Henderson from G League Ignite. At number 3, we've got the Portland Trailblazers taking Brandon Miller from the University of Alabama. No surprise here for me. I think Brandon was the best college player in the country this past year. 3-level scorer, shoots it well off the dribble, shoots it well off the catch, get into the mid-range, finishes well around the rim. Elite athlete, sneaky athlete, because he doesn't use the athleticism a lot to finish around the rim, but sneaky athlete. Has great length, has great defensive potential, and his ability to be an elite wing offensive player and defensive player. And I think he has that, the ability to be a really good elite offensive defensive player, so two-way player at the next level. So 6'9", shoots it off the catch, shoots it off the dribble, creates for himself. Number 3, Portland Trailblazers taking Brandon Miller from Alabama. At number 4, we have the Houston Rockets taking Ausar Thompson from Overtime Elite. Ausar has been my favorite of the Thompson twins for the past year and a half, 2 years, just because I think that he has the more improved jump shot. And so I think with the improved jump shot, the playmaking ability, the elite defensive versatility on the wing, good size at 6'6", 6'7", athletic as you know what, I think all these things bode well for Ausar Thompson. I think the only thing that I think if he doesn't develop a jumper, you still have an elite wing defender, secondary playmaker, slasher, finisher at the rim, great transition player at the worst. And so I think at number 4, I think the Houston Rockets gets a steal and a wing counterpart for Jalen Green at number 4, going to the Houston Rockets. And at number 5, we've got the Detroit Pistons taking Cam Whitmore from Villanova. Cam also has the ability to make for his teammates. It's not something. At number 6, we've got the Orlando Magic taking Anthony Black from the University of Arkansas. I believe that wholeheartedly that Orlando needs a playmaking guard that can facilitate for their athletic wings, guys that run the floor really well. And I think Anthony fits the bill there. He has really good size at about 6'6". He can play make for his teammates. He can get downhill and attack the rim for himself. He also has the ability to defend multiple positions on the other end. And I believe in his jump shot improving. So I believe over the course of his career, he will improve as a jump shooter and will become a elite playmaking guard, big guard in the NBA. So at number 6, we have Orlando taking Anthony Black, 6'6", 6'7", combo wing, whatever you want to call him, playmaker, going to the Orlando Magic. At number 7, we have Jarace Walker from the University of Houston going to the Indiana Pacers. Jarace is just probably a good fit here. He can play both forward positions, the 3 and the 4. He can obviously guard multiple positions. He can play multiple positions. He has a pretty decent shot from the three-point line. I think he ended up shooting right around 35% from the 3 his freshman year at Houston. But his skill set is as a facilitator. He can rebound and push in transition, creates opportunities for his teammates, has really good size. If he ever decides to get that thing where he just decides to go downhill and attack and people can't stop him, I think he's going to be a force in the NBA for sure. So I think at number 7, the Indiana Pacers taking Jarace Walker is going to be a really good pickup for them. At number 8, we have the Washington Wizards taking Amen Thompson from Overtime Elite. Amen is an elite athlete, multiple switchable defender on the perimeter. He can play make for teammates, finishes in and around the lane, athletic, long. I think the jump shot is going to be the issue here. But a lot of these guys, the jump shot is going to be an issue. But I think if he continues to improve, I think the jump shot comes along. I think he's going to be a stud in the NBA. Well, the one thing I know about him from having people close to Overtime Elite and obviously seeing him dozens of times over the past 2 seasons, he works hard. He's in the gym a lot. He puts up shots on a regular basis. They have to kick he and his brother out of the gym on most days when they're there. So I do believe that Amen going to Washington would be a great pickup, especially with them losing Bradley Beal. Now they have to fill that void on the wing, and I think Amen would be a great pickup there at number 8. At number 9, we have the Utah Jazz taking Bilal Coulibaly from Metropolitan 92. Bilal is a stock riser this past season. He wasn't on the most radars. He was actually on the 2nd division team for Metropolitan 92, and he was brought up later in the season. Athletic, long, defends multiple positions, moves well off the ball, finishes well around the rim, has decent jump shot mechanics. He doesn't necessarily connect very well right now, but I think those things will improve. And I think it's a great fit in Utah as they have an abundance of young talent, and they're going to have the coaching staff and the management staff are going to cultivate and grow these young players to build them into a contender at some point, similar to what you're seeing in Oklahoma City and other teams across the league. At number 10, we have the Dallas Mavericks taking Taylor Hendricks from UCF. Taylor is a stretch 4, about 6'9". He measured at 6'9" at the combine, shoots it well from the perimeter, from the 3-point line, right around 40%, defends multiple positions, blocks shots, slides his feet very good laterally, runs the floor well, has good hands, vertical spacer. He's all the things that you want in a stretch 4, stretch big in the modern NBA. Shoots it well, throw it up and he can go catch it. Good in pick and roll, pick and pop, has good hands, trail action, finishes around the rim, defends multiple positions, rebounds well. I think Taylor at 10 is a great pickup for Dallas as they need a big who can be a little bit more of a focal point and a piece for Luka to have an outlet too. So I think Taylor Hendricks right here at number 10 is a good pickup for Dallas Mavericks. At number 11, we have the Orlando Magic taking Dereck Lively II from Duke University. Derek's another floor spacing, athletic, rim running, long, big. I think Dereck has the ability to stretch the floor. He didn't showcase that at Duke, but I think that was more so opportunity than his skill set. I think his skill set is perfect for the NBA. He runs the floor really well. He has really good hands. He's a vertical spacer. He's really athletic. He can stretch the floor, especially in pick and pop action and trail action, and also knock down some corner threes. Rebounds the ball really well, active on the interior. And I think Orlando could use another big, long, athletic big, which is what they needed. All the Orlando Magic fans who are watching this right now, who jumped on me last mock, you guys said you needed a big and a guard. Here's your big. I think Dereck Lively here is going to be a great pickup for the Orlando Magic at number 11. At number 12, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking Jordan Hawkins from UConn, national champion. Jordan's probably the best shooter on the move in college basketball. He reminds you of a little bit of movement before anybody jumps down my throat. Movement, the way he moves off the ball, the way he runs off screens and constantly moves. Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, guys like that. That's how he played in college. Rip Hamilton is also another guy that he kind of resembles in the way that he moves off the ball. Moves well off the ball, can stop on a dime, shoots it from anywhere on the floor. Also, he's a really good athlete. He can attack closeouts, finish around the rim, can play the pass lanes really well defensively. He's got a lot to work with, but I think his jump shot and his ability to shoot on the move is going to be something that really sets him apart from everyone else. And that's why I think I have him rated so high here at number 12. At number 13, we have GG Jackson from South Carolina going to the Toronto Raptors. I think this is a good fit for GG, as Toronto has one of the best development programs in the entire league. I think so. A young player, younger than most of the guys in this draft class, going to the team that probably the best developmental program in the NBA. It'll be a great fit for GG, and I think we can expect great things from GG Jackson. Personally, and this is just my personal opinion, people know that I like GG Jackson. I think GG, if he was entering college this year, like he was supposed to before he reclassified, he would be a number one pick prospect next year. That's what I feel. And so getting him at 13 and late in the lottery, going to a developmental program, you're going to get a steal. And so I think he develops really well. Pair him with Scotty Barnes, and now you've got a really good tandem of forwards, and I think they could cause a lot of havoc in the NBA. At number 14, we have Jalen Hood-Schifino going to the New Orleans Pelicans. Jalen's one of these guys that is a big primary ball handler, has really good size, can shoot the ball going left, going right in the mid-range, really good fluid shooting mechanics, can defend multiple positions, not athletic, but strong, uses his frame really well, cuts off defenders, cuts off guys on the defensive end, can run a team, is really ready to kind of like plug and play as a playmaker right now. And I think playing behind CJ and some of their other guards is going to bode him well. And I think he eventually develops into the starting point guard position for the New Orleans Pelicans. At number 15, we have the Atlanta Hawks taking Keontae George out of Baylor University. Keontae is probably the best bucket in the class right now. I think his ability to create his own shots for himself, also his ability to take and make tough shots. He has really good footwork, creates separation really well, can finish around the rim, strong physical frame. He's a 2-1 combo in my opinion. At 6'4", it's a 2-1 combo. So play off the ball, play on the ball a little bit. He can play make. I don't think that's his claim to fame, but he can play make. He can create opportunities for his teammates. It's not something that you would expect, but it's something that he can do. So I think at number 15, going to Atlanta Hawks is a steal for them picking up Keontae George. At number 16, we have the Utah Jazz via the Minnesota Timberwolves taking Grady Dick from Kansas. Grady is another guy that can play off the ball, shoots it well on the catch, shoots it well on the move, can come off screens, pin downs, things like that. Also is a sneaky athlete, finishes well around the rim. He's not an elite. I don't think he's an elite defender, but I don't think he's a guy that will get picked on defensively. He has good lateral quickness. On top of that, he has really good size and length. So I think this is just the effort to play defense is going to set him apart from a lot of the other quote unquote shooters in the draft. But I think his ability to have really good size, has good mobility, shoot it off the catch, shoot it off the dribble, attack a closeout, finish around the rim in a pinch. I think he's going to be a good pickup for Utah. At number 17, we have the Los Angeles Lakers taking Nick Smith Jr. from Arkansas. As the Lakers are probably going to lose D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Schroeder rather. I think they need a playmaking combo that can kind of play off the ball with LeBron and AD, obviously, can attack a closeout, can create his own shot, can go get his own shot, and also play a little point guard with the second unit and facilitate for his teammates. I think Nick does that really well. Nick has really good quickness. He's really shifty with the ball in his hands. He can create opportunities for himself. Also, like I said, can play off the ball a little bit as well. Defensively, he's going to have to just impact, do the best job he can to impact the ball on the defensive end, which is just kind of being engaging. I think when you can play with guys that are behind you like AD and LeBron, you can kind of be a little bit more aggressive on the perimeter. And obviously, I think that'll help him develop his defensive chops a little sooner. So at number 17, we got the Los Angeles Lakers taking Nick Smith Jr. At number 18, we've got Dariq Whitehead from Duke University going to the Miami Heat. I think this is a great fit for Dariq. Dariq has the ability to like plug and play with Miami because that's the kind of game that he has. I think he'll be a great fit. He's a Miami Heat in my opinion, and just how he looks, the way he plays basketball, the way he carries himself, he seems to fit that Miami Heat organizational style right away. He can defend multiple positions, can knock down an open jumper, can put the ball on the floor, can rebound really well. Does a little bit of everything, and I think he's kind of a Swiss Army knife in that sense. And I think going to Miami, big strong frame, playing alongside Jimmy, Tyler Herro, Victor Oladipo, and all the other guys. I think he's just one of those guys that just kind of fits. He's going to play hard. He's going to work hard. And I think that's what Miami is looking for, is a hardworking wing that can help take some of the load off of Jimmy and Tyler. In my opinion, I think Dariq can do that a little bit. At number 19, I think this is going to be a great pickup right here for the Golden State Warriors. I have them picking up Noah Clowney from the University of Alabama. Noah's a stretch four, runs the floor really well, shoots it off the catch, pick and roll, pick and pop, has really good hands, trail, rim run kind of stuff, blocks shots, rebounds really well. Like, he does a little bit of everything, and he's another active, long, athletic big that can shoot the ball. I think, this class, in this top 20, there are 3 of these guys right now that really do this really well, and he's one of those guys. Runs the floor really well. I think the ability to just defend multiple positions. He can switch out on the perimeter and pick and roll action. You can throw it up to him. He can catch a lob. He's going to be an active rebounder, crash the glass. I think somebody that can space the floor for the Golden State Warriors and just open up that floor and give them more space is going to be somebody that's super valuable to them. And I think picking him up right here at number 19 is a great pickup for the Golden State Warriors. And number 20, we have the Houston Rockets taking Kobe Buffkin from the University of Michigan. I think Kobe's ability to do play, I think he's probably the only combos, in my opinion, in this top 20 range that I would be comfortable with just giving the ball and letting him go create for it and run a team for himself. Run a team, create opportunities for his teammates, play make for his teammates, get in the lane, drive and kick, drive and drop, lob passes, pick and roll action, all those things, and he can create his own shot. On the other side, he got on the court last year at the University of Michigan for playing defense. I think he's going to be he can be a defensive problem as well, like ahead of the snake, first impact defensive player as well. I think he can move his feet well, has really active hands. I think he's a really good pickup right here for the Houston Rockets at number 20. At number 21, we have the Brooklyn Nets via the Phoenix Suns taking Leonard Miller from G League Ignite. I think Leonard's a great pickup right here because he's kind of a junkyard dog kind of style of play. He runs the floor really well. He can rebound and push on the defensive glass. He makes shots. The shot isn't pretty, but he makes shots. And he's whatever you need him to do. I think Leonard can do. He can guard multiple positions. He can rebound and push the transition. Like I said before, he can make an open three. He can create for himself off the dribble. I think he's going to be one of those guys that just, like, you can kind of run an offense through. He can pass. He can play off the elbow or out of the mid post, facilitate for his teammates, finish around the rim, a little bit of everything, has good size. And if he develops and, he has all these skill sets already, this is the baseline. I think if he continues to develop that shot, develop more of his playmaking ability, I think he's going to be even better, in my opinion. So at number 21, we have the Brooklyn Nets taking Leonard Miller. At number 22, we have the Brooklyn Nets taking Chris Murray from Iowa. I think Chris is more of a stretch big, in my opinion. So I think these two guys complement each other really well. Two forwards, one plays a little bit harder, hard-nosed, interior kind of guy. The other guy is more skill, rebound. He can rebound and push, can create for himself a little bit. He probably has the best inside-outside game of the forwards, I believe, in my opinion. But he actually has some post moves where he can throw the ball to him on the post. He can shoot over his right shoulder, shoot over his left shoulder, and can step out and shoot the three-pointer as well. Also has the ability to defend multiple positions, good size, good length. I think Chris Murray right here, the stretch four at going to the Brooklyn Nets, is going to be a really good pickup. At number 23, we have the Portland Trailblazers via the New York Knicks taking Cason Wallace from the University of Kentucky. Cason's probably one of the best on-ball point guard defenders in this class, can play make a little bit, can get downhill. I think he just has to decide what kind of game he wants to play. I think, he struggled with some injuries this past year at Kentucky. Shot the ball decently from the three-point line. One of my interns told me that, he had a couple 3-4 game stretch where it pretty much tanked his three-point percentage, but you take out those 3 or 4 games, and I think he was a plus 40% three-point shooter for the year. But his claim to fame is going to be on ball defense and playmaking for his teammates. And I think Cason does that really well. I'm not sure, no one knows what's going on with Portland, but I think it's just a good pickup as somebody that can spell Dame. As Dame's on the team, this is how we're doing it right now. Dame's on the team. He can spell Dame occasionally or play alongside him and Anthony in a pinch. And then, just go play basketball, go lock up the best point guard in the league and see what happens. At number 24, we have the Sacramento Kings taking Ryan Rupert from the New Zealand Breakers via Paris, France. I think Ryan's one of those guys who's going to be a project, in my opinion. He has really good skill, really good size, but he's just a little young. And I think adjusting to the NBA games may be a little challenging for him, although I think that he could do it. I think Ryan's ability to play off the ball, slash, attack closeouts, run, play the lanes in transition, and defend multiple positions are all things that he will be able to do right away. I think those things are going to bode well for Ryan going to the Sacramento Kings at number 24. At number 25, we have the Memphis Grizzlies taking Kobe Jones from Xavier. Kobe's one of those guys that he's another guy that just can do a little bit of everything. He can make an open jumper. He can put the ball on the floor, create for himself a little bit. He can defend multiple positions. He rebounds it pretty well. He has good size. I think, just one of those guys that can plug and play. He's an older guy. I think this is his junior year, coming out of his junior year, so a little bit older, probably a little bit more mature, ready to play right away. And I think the Memphis Grizzlies have a knack for picking these kind of players that are just a little bit older, have a little bit more polish to their game to start. And while they're not stars, they're going to be stars in their roles. And I think Kobe's a guy that I think can be a star in his role right away in Memphis, whatever that role may be, whatever they call him to do, whether it's starting, coming off the bench, playing sparing minutes, getting solid minutes, whatever that may be. I think Kobe will be ready to do that because he's done those things already at Xavier. And I think he'll be ready to do that at Memphis as well. At number 26, we have the Indiana Pacers via the Cleveland Cavaliers taking Bryce Sensabaugh from Ohio State. Bryce is one of those guys he's a bucket as well, has the ability to create shots for himself, mid-range, three-pointers, has a nice little hesitation, can create great space for himself. The defensive thing is probably going to be the issue that he struggles with the most, but I think that he has the size and is surprisingly athletic that I think he has defensive potential, in my opinion. But I think his shot making ability is going to be what gets him on the court right away, whether it's in a starting role or playing off the bench. I think he's going to have the ability to come in and make shots with the second unit with the Indiana Pacers. So I think that's a good pickup for them there at 26. At number 27, we have the Charlotte Hornets via the Denver Nuggets taking Jalen Wilson from Kansas. Jalen's another one of these guys that can defend multiple positions, has good size, can make a shot, can defend, can rebound. And again, he's another guy that I like. He's an older guy. I think he's coming off his senior year, but guy that has kind of gone through transitions of opportunities at Kansas, and I think makes him ready to play a more plug and play, in my opinion, at the next level right away, because he can do a little bit of everything. Whether you need him to defend, just go guard somebody. Hey, go sit in the corner and make 4 out of 10 threes if you get opportunities. Run the floor in transition, rebound, push, play make for teammates, whatever you can ask him to do. I think he can do because he's kind of going through all those roles. And I think that bodes well for Charlotte because they need a little bit more maturity. I think a lot of their guys are a little younger. The leadership guys are a little younger. And I think they need some guys that can just kind of come and play and fit and fill a spot. At number 28, we have the Utah Jazz via the Philadelphia 76ers taking Brandon Podziemski from Santa Clara. Brandon's one of those guys that wasn't necessarily on a lot of radars going into the season because he transferred in from Illinois with not really any stats to really validate a transfer. But Brandon was given an opportunity to play and given an opportunity to showcase his talent, and he did that at Santa Clara. Can shoot the ball from the perimeter. Really tough kid, finishes around the rim, rebound, push in transition, play makes for his teammates, takes on every challenge. Whoever they were playing, Brandon tried to take the challenge of guarding their opposing team's best guard or wing. And I think just the mentality to want to do that is something that I really like in a player that I would love to pick up, is the mentality that I want to guard the best player, regardless of who they are, what school they go to. I just want to play them, and I want to showcase that I belong on the court with them, and I can be better than them. And so I love that for Brandon. I think that's the mentality that several guys on the Utah Jazz currently have. I think he'll fit right in with that group of guys. At number 29, we have the Indiana Pacers via the Boston Celtics taking Maxwell Lewis from Pepperdine. Maxwell is one of these guys that is 6'7", really skilled, can play inside out, can take it to the mid post, can shoot it in the mid range, can get to the rim, can shoot it off the catch. All these things bode well for him offensively. Everything in the package he has. Defensively, he has a great defensive potential, but he has not always showcased that. But I think that was more of the load that he carried at Pepperdine as opposed to the desire or will to do so. I think when you're carrying a heavy offensive load, sometimes they manage who you're guarding and where you're guarding. but I believe that Maxwell has the ability to guard. And I think in the next level, I think he's going to have to showcase that, obviously. But the ability to shoot score at all three levels, put it on the floor, mid-post action, mid-range action. I think he can do a little bit of everything, finish around the rim, really good touch. I think Maxwell Lewis is a really good pickup right here at the number 29 pick going to the Indiana Pacers. At number 30, we have the Los Angeles Clippers via the Milwaukee Bucks taking Julian Strawther from Gonzaga. Julian's one of these kids that just kind of knows how to play basketball. I think if you watch him play, he's always in the right spot. He moves well off the ball. He can make an open three. He can rebound and push in transition. He gives a great effort on the defensive end. And he just coming from a program like Gonzaga, he knows how to play basketball. It's one of those programs that when you get these kids, typically if they're NBA ready, they're gonna produce and perform well. And him being there 3 years, obviously he's been coached up very well by Coach Few. I think that getting him at number 30 is a steal for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's a West Coast kid from I think he's from Vegas if I'm not mistaken. But I think he's a kid that will fit in with these guys because he can play off the ball. I think when you have two primary ball handling dominant guys like Kawhi and Paul George, you kind of have to play off the ball. And I think his ability to do that right now is going to be super helpful for them because he can knock down an open jumper. And like I said, he can push it in, rebound and push it in transition. So I think a pickup right here is a pickup of Julian Strawther at number 30 to the Los Angeles Clippers is a great pickup. And that is it. That is picks 1 through 30. That is the final mock draft Between the Lines Sports 6.0 mock draft 2023. We are done. That is in the books. If you want to visit and see our full mock, our full board, please go over to the website. It'll be up. By the time this drops, it'll be up. www.btohoops.org, www.btohoops.org. Follow us on social media at BTO Hoops, Instagram, Twitter. That's pretty much all we're doing. We're on TikTok, Snapchat. I got to do better, but give me some time. I'm working on it. But great content, great articles on the website. Got articles for days this past month as I've just tried to really highlight some of the guys that I think will be beneficial pickups in the draft, trade scenarios, free agent pickups, things like that, all those things that we've talked about. The draft is upon us. The draft is upon us. The draft is upon us. I look forward to you guys' feedback, as it was great feedback the past couple of mock videos that we've done. You guys like some stuff. You guys don't like some stuff. Either way go, I respect you guys for watching. Thank you so much for your time, giving me 30 minutes of your time. I really appreciate it. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.